too, it's still basic enough that it still makes it interesting. And one more thing on the whole video deal is this was, oh man, probably like middle early '90s, and the band is no more, but the singer's gone on and continued doing solo stuff. There's a band called I'm not sure if you know them or not. You probably at least heard the name. The band is called White Zombie, and they did their very first video release. They had a budget of, I think it was about $2,000, and it was shot out in the desert. So pretty much, like five, like maybe two pizzas for everybody and that sort of thing. But the video was still really very well done, even though it was super simple and basic. So it shows you, like, even with a small budget, you can do a lot more than you think. You just got to have a creative mind behind it.
Yeah, it's very, very true. When you do a good music video, it really can make all the difference for people getting exposed to a song. So it's really important.
So that just made things interesting. And like I said, guys, when you get a chance, check it out. It's on YouTube. So The Wild Young Hearts, and it's called "There Goes My Baby," and it's worth literally about a minute 55 of your time. So, and so is the EP. So be sure to check that out. Next up, I read your review, and I was really interested to read this one just because I did one on it when it initially came out, and it's one of my favorite EPs. It's just one of those ones that flows so well. We're talking about the Bedroom Hours EP Themes, which is a great one, and wish nothing but the best for these guys. So tell me what your thoughts on this were, and then I'll interject mine.
Sure. I really enjoyed the atmosphere. It was steeped in so much emotion, and I really felt a transformative experience. And the songwriting was on an amazing par. And there was a lot of elements that made you think, and it was kind of a mood shifter. And there was quite a few songs on there I just felt really poignant and touching. It grabbed you. It grabbed you more than a lot of songs like a band like Coldplay that's gotten out of control. They brought it back to this really basic. The Bedroom Hour brought us back to this really basic emotional feeling. I think a band like that's kind of really lost.
You know what? I completely agree with that because I was a fan of Coldplay right up until after X and Y, because I mean, Rush of Blood to the Head was pretty much the one that kind of shot them up in the charts. And but X and Y was really cool because it was experimental, but then they kind of got way off base with Viva La Vida, and it just, respect to Chris Martin, but it just, like, I think he strayed way too far off and kind of strayed away from what the band was initially about. But themes, you're absolutely right, and as far as some songs being emotionally written, you're absolutely right. And I'm not sure if you know this, but the song "Slow Motion Cinema" was written by the singer Stu, and that was unfortunately essentially a ballad to his mother, who, God rest her soul, passed away about 2 years ago of cancer. So that's the real heart behind that one. It's a fantastic song, but there's definitely a lot of emotion behind that, and it shows that a lot of times different outlets such as music can help you work through these issues.
Yeah, that's when I think they were just really touching. You could tell there was a lot of soul behind that, and it was very emotional, and it really captured that human feeling when someone's the cycle of life, and that you're just trying to hold on to every minute, but like sands through the hourglass, it's fading away, and so you're just kind of trying to enjoy every single second that you have.
Well, absolutely right. But otherwise, it was a very well written, a very well composed album. And they actually do have a video too for X Marks the Spot, which is actually very, very well done. So that's another one you guys should really check out. I mean, that was very impressed with that video too. And that's another one where, not tons of money, but they got the point across. And it was just one of those ones, like, you guys sit back, like, no, this is a really cool video, and that's such a good idea.
Oh yeah, I that's probably one of the best videos I've seen this year. I really loved it, and like you said, it got the message across without a big budget.
So we're actually going to move into one of their songs now, and this is another one doing with emotion. It's almost like we'll call it battling your inner demons, and the song is called Shadow Boxer. So let's listen to that right now, and then we'll come back and talk more.
motionless. Only one way to wail when this war till you begin to love the skin you're in. Will you know what you're fighting for? Stare down shadows on the wall. Ask yourself what you're fighting for. Tell me what you see. Tell me what you see. Tell me what you see. When you look at yourself, see the enemy. Tell me what you see. Tell me what you see. Tell me what you see. When you look at yourself, see the enemy.
All right, that was the Bedroom Hour with Shadowboxer off their debut EP Themes, which is available on iTunes and is definitely worth a listen because it is such very well arranged, lyrically, musically, such a great album. And for people who are interested, they're actually in studio right now working on some new music, which is really cool. There's no set date yet for any release or when any songs will be available for airplay. But I have been talking with her manager, who's couldn't ask for a better manager, and I always blow her up on the show just because she's such a great person, and her name is Diane Sherwood. So you got a manager like that, you're always going to be set because she always has their best interests at heart, and when she needs to be, she's very hard-nosed, so watch out. So next up, let's get into a few more of your blogs you've done this week. I mean, I've kind of read over. So why don't you give us a quick rundown of what you've worked on this past week, Britt?
Okay, well, I wrote a review of the EP 7 Years by a very talented artist, Mina Yasmina. I hope I'm saying her last name correctly. We're actually going to have an interview with her coming up very soon that should be published. And it's a very well done EP, very emotional and riveting, and I really enjoyed the way she told stories in a lot of these songs. And it was a very good, very atmospheric, again, with that word, but it was very well done. I was very impressed on the production on this, and she really seems to know what she's doing, so it really came through in the EP. And the other thing that I did this week was write a review of the documentary. It just premiered on HBO, I think it was last week. It's called Seduced and Abandoned, which stars Alec Baldwin and director James Toback, who directed Harvard Man from many years ago.
Right.
And basically it follows them as they go to the Cannes Film Festival, and they're trying to get funding, or so they say, for this very ridiculous sounding film. And they take you into the back rooms of quite a few famous stars, Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola, and some actors, Ryan Gosling, and Jessica Chastain, who peek in and they talk a lot about stuff. It was a very interesting, for people who love the industry and love knowing all the behind-the-scenes aspects of it. They do give you a window into that, and I think something that gets lost on some people is that there is this huge ranking system in Hollywood where not everybody is treated equally. Not everyone is the same, despite what they want to act like. And so if you have an actress like Neve Campbell, who Alec Baldwin wants cast in this movie he's making, and he hears from producer, very well-known producer Avi Lerner, I'm not going to put her. I'll maybe produce the movie, but if she's going to be in it, I'm not going to be able to get funding. So we're going to need to go with a much more famous face. So it's very interesting.
Well, it's as much as it sucks. A lot of times they do have a point. So because it's more or less we'll call it the B movies that have some of these people before they make it big, because no, they don't need a lot of funding because they know they're not going to have to pay some of these actors big bucks to do it.
That's very, very true. And so, see, that's the thing where people enjoy seeing unknowns, and I too believe that's great when you have a quote unquote unknown, like the guy who just got cast in 50 Shades of Grey. People who watch TV know him from Once Upon a Time, but otherwise he's a majorly unknown person. But sometimes that can help and that can hurt you because you're thinking, oh, that's so-and-so playing so-and-so. And there are actors like Gary Oldman where Gary Oldman can play anybody on the freaking planet, and I don't go, oh my God, that's Gary Oldman playing. He really, truly loses himself in everything that he does.
And on that note, it's also like his name's escaping me. My time to space out. I'm sure you remember his name, but the guy who played Thor in the Thor movies.
Chris Hemsworth?
Yep.
There you go, yeah.
Because he was like a nobody, and he did a fantastic job in the first Thor movie. I haven't seen the second one yet because I don't think it's quite out yet. I know they're previewing it, but I'm not sure if it's in the theaters yet. But the first Thor...
Comes out today.
Oh, well, there you go. But the first Thor movie was unreal, and I really liked it. I think he did a great job. And just I got a little side note on a couple of quick music things here. There's two popular musicians who are plotting a tour, and this should be really good. And as well as saying you guys are going to have to save your money, but Sting and Paul Simon together, and that one I am really excited for because I've never seen Paul Simon. I saw Sting with the Police when they did that quick reunion tour, so I'd be very interested to see them solo together, especially Paul Simon. I mean, one of the greatest lyricists of all time. So,
I love Paul Simon. I'm a huge Simon and Garfunkel fan, so that would be very cool to see.
So yeah, they haven't. There's no set dates yet, but it's in the works. So I'll be interested to see that. And we still got about a minute something left, and this is really quick. Today at work, I had the opportunity, even though I'm not a